Hello everybody, Brenda Hillard here, Create with Brenda. I can be found at createwithbrenda.com. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm sure if you check me out on Pinterest, Facebook, YouTube, or createwithbrenda.com, you will see that I absolutely love the art of paper crafting and stamping. So I hope you'll join me today. I have a few products I want to share with you out of our annual catalog, which will be going away, sadly. The last day to order from the annual catalog, this beautiful book right here, is May 3rd. So look through it, see what's in there that you still have on your wish list that you have not purchased. And not everything retires. Some things carry over, but it is the last chance for those retiring items, which will be posted on my blog on March 24th. So check through, make a list, whatever. Today, I want to share with you some of the products from that catalog. This Ornate Garden Designer Series paper will be retiring for sure. And I've done several projects in the last week or so using this beautiful Designer Series paper. Also, the retiring in colors. So each Saturday I do a Facebook Live. It's called Coffee and Create with Brenda, and it's at 9 a.m. And the past 3 weeks I've been featuring one of the retiring in colors each Saturday morning. Last Saturday was Rococo Rose, which I will be using in today's project. The in colors, the 2019 through 2021 in colors will be retiring, and then of course we get 5 new in colors coming in. So be sure to check those out if it's something, if it's a favorite color and you want the cardstock, or you have the ink pads and you want the re-inkers, now's the time to order those. Speaking of ordering, every month right up here I have a new host code that I post. This is my host code for March. And this month, my special when you shop with me is with a $50 product purchase or more, minimum $50 product purchase, and you use the host code, or if you place your own order at $150 in product or more, you will receive from me the Simply Chamois. So that's my gift to you for shopping with me. I provide exceptional customer service, and I'm always here to help you. This is what I do full time, is stamps. So be sure to check out my monthly specials. And again, those can be found at createwithbrenda.com. All right, today's project, I'm going to be featuring the Daisy Lane stamp set, the small, or I guess they call it the medium Daisy punch. I will be using one retired punch. I do not use retired product on a regular basis, but I love this 1/2-inch circle punch, and it is retired, but I am going to use that today. And we'll be using the Stitched So Sweetly dies. And there's another, the So Sentimental Sentiments, and we'll be using the Stamparatus, and of course the retiring scalloped linen ribbon, and this one happens to be the Rococo Rose. It's got the scalloped edge, the colored scalloped edge. It's really pretty ribbon. So that's what we have. The project is very simple and easy to replicate, so I hope you'll give it a try. Here's what we're going to be making today. This thank you card. And on my thank you cards, I have a tendency to leave them blank on the inside just because I like to write a personalized note. But if you want to stamp a sentiment inside of your thank you cards, you go for it. And then of course, the no naked envelopes, so we have the little daisy on the corner. Let's get started. You will need a piece of basic white paper. This is cut at 4 1/4 by 11, scored at scored at 5 1/2. So we end up with our card base, and let's use our bone folder so we get that nice crease. But our card is going to be like, I call it a tent style card. So there's our card base. You're going to need a strip of the Designer Series paper, and this measures 2 1/2 by 5 1/2. You're going to need a piece of Rococo Rose, and this is going to be our mat. And so, of course, this measures 2 3/4 because you want it a 1/4 inch longer or wider. And again, it is by 5 1/2 because it goes from the very top to the bottom of our card base. All right. And then I just grabbed a little strip, and this measures a 1/2 inch by 4 1/4. I have a scrap piece of Bumblebee, a scrap piece of Early Espresso, and then I pre-die cut the label from the Stitch So Sweetly dies, and I used this die right here. Okay, this is a beautiful set of dies. If you don't have that, you might check into that as well. So let's start out punching. We're going to bring in our small daisy punch, and I'm going to punch 4 daisies from our Bumblebee paper. Okay. And then, like I said, I'm using this retired 1/2 inch punch, and I'm sure you have something in your arsenal, or maybe you have a gem even that could fit in the middle. And if you have the stamp set, you can stamp your daisy and get that nice center too. So there's some options for the center if you don't have the 1/2 inch circle punch. All right, I'm going to push all of our stuff off to the side for right now. I'm going to bring in the Stamparatus, and what I've done is I put the stamp on the acrylic plate. Okay, I inked it up, and then I stamped it right on my pad here. This is the piece that was left from when I die cut my label. So is what I can do, because I'm going to make several of these cards, and actually this card was from part of my Stamp-A-Stack this past weekend. So I can lay this down. I can take my die cut, my stitched label, and I can fit it in there just like a puzzle piece. Bring in my Memento Tuxedo Black ink. I'm going to ink up my stamp, and I can just stamp it right on my label. Perfect label every time. Love it. And you guys, you know, if you're card makers, like you die cut out the stuff for your projects, and then the next thing you know is you have a stamping mistake on your label, and then you're having to take out the Big Shot again. Not the Big Shot. That was a mistake. The Stamp and Cut and Emboss. So there's our label. And you know, if I don't like exactly how that's stamped, or I want it to be a little darker, a little more bold, I can just go right back in and stamp again and get the perfect. Do you see what I'm doing here? How I have these pre-die cut and I'm just popping them in there. This is so slick, you guys. It's a great little tip and trick here for stamping multiple cards. I'll do one more just so you can see how this just goes so quickly. and you get that perfect stamped image. It's so good. I just love using my Stamparatus for this very reason. And it's just one of many tricks and tips with the Stamparatus. So if you don't have a Stamparatus, I would love to help you get one. So there, that's how we're going to do our label, okay? All right, let's finish assembling the rest of our card. And that's all of our stamping too, so. All right, I'm gonna bring in our card base, and I have that little tiny strip, the 1/2 inch by 4 1/4. I'm just gonna add some Stampin' Seal to that little scrap, but this little scrap makes a huge impact on the bottom of our card. So I just put that across on the inside just to dress that up a little bit. Now I'm going to take that, and this one again measured 2 1/2 by 5 1/2, and our Rococo Rose is 2 3/4 because we want that edge on each side. So I'm going to add adhesive to the back of our cards or our designer series paper. I'm going to lay it down so that these borders are equal. Not quite, sorry. Try to reposition that a little bit. There we go. All right, and I don't think I have this cut exactly like I want. You can see I have that little bit of an overage there on the bottom. So if I just turn it over and go right across and trim so that it's nice and even. So next, I'm going to just put a little bit of adhesive on each side there. And I think you can see it. I'll zoom in just a touch. See the adhesive? So let's bring in our scalloped linen ribbon. And look at the color coordination. Isn't it great? So is what I want to do is I'm just going to tack the edge of the ribbon down on the adhesive. I'm going to bring it around and then just trim it. So we have this little band of ribbon, okay? All right, now let's put our adhesive from all the way top to bottom, both sides. And I'm just going to put this on the front of our card, and I'm positioning it over to the left side here. All right. Now let's bring in one of our stamped labels that we did, and using full-size dimensionals, I'm going to give top and bottom and side to side. So I'm going to use 4 dimensionals. I love dimensionals. You'll see that when you start following me. And I'm just going to lay that down right here. All right. Then using some glue dots, I'm going to pick up a glue dot with my daisy, and I'm just going to alternate the petals with the other daisy like this. So I get a really full, a full looking flower. All right. And then another glue dot for the center. And I'm going to repeat that process for this second daisy. So we're going to take one of our punch daisies, pick up a glue dot, alternate the petals, pick up a glue dot with our little 1/2 inch circle, and put that in the middle. Now, we're going to take a couple of the full-size dimensionals and put those on the back of our daisy. take off the wax paper backing. And then I'm just going to kind of fluff up our petals a little bit. And I'm going to put one here and another one right there. There's our card. Quick and easy and a fun thank you, right? And like I said, you can put a sentiment on the inside if you would like to. I prefer to leave my thank you cards blank and just personalize them with whatever it is I'm thanking people for. One thing I did forget is I wanted to tie just a little knot of ribbon here to kind of balance out the bottom. So let me add that quickly, and then we'll decorate up our envelope, and this one's ready to send. Okay, so there's our little tail of ribbon. See how that just kind of added a lot to our project there? Set that aside, bring our envelope in, and I'm going to be using the daisy from the set here, and I'm going to ink up with Rococo Rose. And I really love Rococo Rose. I'm kind of sad to see it go, but I'm also very excited to see the new colors coming in, because Stampin' Up! Just is so on point with all the new colors and the new stamping trends. So there's our card. I hope you love it, everybody. Take care, and I look forward to serving you soon. Bye-bye.